Are you a parent who's looking for an engaging way to teach your child about money at home? If so, then you've come to the right place. Next Gen Personal Finance is a nonprofit organization that creates free resources for teachers to teach personal finance at the high school and middle school level. In this video, we'll be looking at how parents can use two of the activities on the NGPF website to guide their child through the process of choosing the right account at their local bank or credit union. To access this activity, head to ngpf.org. Click on the Resources tab and select Activities. Scroll down and select the Checking unit. On this page, you'll see all of the checking activities that NGPF has to offer. Scroll down on this page until you see the activity titled Compare, Select a Checking Account. Click on View Google Doc to open up this activity. If you have a printer at home, this is a great place to pause and press Print. It's ideal for your child to have the hard copy of this resource directly in front of them so they can write down all their notes based on their research. If you would rather have your child work on this activity digitally, make sure you're logged into a Gmail email account and head on over to where it says File in the menu. Scroll down and select Make a Copy. Give this document a name that you'll remember and save it in your drive. Click the Share button on the top right-hand corner and enter your child's email address to share this document with them. Once your child is granted access to this document, they'll be able to type directly into it. Now, let's go through the flow of this activity. On the top of page 1, you'll notice there's a blue box which has the 5 steps summarized that your child will need to take to complete this activity. Part 1 of this activity requires your child to brainstorm the criteria that they value in a checking account. If your child is not too certain about which criteria matters to them, then there's a link provided to an article called How to Open a Checking Account. By opening that article, your child will be able to spend some time reading about all of the different criteria that is considered to be important before opening a checking account. This will help to prepare your child to complete section 1 of the worksheet. After listing the criteria that your child values in a checking account, you can move along to step 2, which is to rank the top 3 or 4 qualities that matter the most given your particular preferences. Step 3 requires your child to choose 3 different checking accounts to compare. Moving along to step 4, your child will then complete a decision matrix by researching how each checking account compares for each of the different qualities and criteria that they selected. In each of the blue boxes on the y-axis, your child will enter the criteria that they selected as most important. In the orange boxes across the x-axis, your child will enter the different checking accounts that they have decided to compare. Finally, to wrap up the activity, your child will make a choice about which checking account is best for them based on the decision matrix. It's important for your child to be able to explain clearly why they chose the account that they selected and what makes it better than the other options that were considered. NGPF has a great activity under the Saving unit, which is a great exercise to follow up with after completing this one. Heading back to the NGPF website, you can select the Resources tab and click on Activities. Then scroll down to select the Saving unit. Here you can see all of the different activities under the Saving unit. If you scroll down, you'll find the activity titled Compare, Select a Savings Account. Click on View Google Doc to open up this resource. This is a similar activity to selecting a checking account, except in this activity, your child will be looking for a savings account that would work for them. In part 1, your child will create a decision matrix. You'll notice that the very first criteria is already selected for your child. It's important for your child to only check for savings accounts that are insured by the government. If your child is looking at a savings account offered by a bank, they'll want to make sure that that account is FDIC insured. And if your child is looking at a savings account offered by a credit union, they'll want to make sure that that account is NCUA insured. Under the first criteria, your child will be able to enter criteria 2 through 5 based on their personal preferences for what they value in a savings account. In part 2 of this activity, your child will choose 3 banks or credit unions to research online. This will require them to use Google Maps search function and look for banks or credit unions near their home address. After choosing 3 bank accounts or credit unions, your child will be able to check out their individual websites and look for specific information about savings accounts offered at each location. Finally, in part 3, your child will decide which is the best account for them. They'll then write a paragraph highlighting the reasons for their selection. Be sure to have your child indicate how that bank or credit union that they selected is the best choice and what makes it better than the other choices that they considered. Now that you know where to find the NGPF activities called Compare, Select a Checking Account, or Compare, Select a Savings Account, we're confident that you'll be able to guide your child through the process of choosing the best checking account or savings account for them.